guys, it's Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It's the first Thursday of September. We're into our last quarter of the year, and and it feels like the winter is fastly approaching, but I won't talk about that anymore because who wants to talk about the snow and the cold, right? So it has cooled off, it seems, these last few days. And if you notice, I sound a whole lot better than what I sounded last week. And I'll tell you, my lungs feel a lot better after a week has passed from all of the shenanigans that happened last week. So that's a good thing, you guys. So I probably annoyed a few people last week, but I can't do anything about that. So I don't really want to apologize because it's part of your body when it needs to cough and do that. But it probably was a little bit annoying. So I appreciate you guys putting up with it. I get it when you're watching somebody live and nobody said anything to me at all. I just know that if I was watching somebody live and they kept doing that all the time, oh man, I bet I would be a little bit like, okay, I'm over it. So I shouldn't be doing that so much tonight. But again, I apologize. And last week, I shouldn't say, I wasn't gonna say, because it was a part of it, you guys. It's a part of life, getting sick. And we weren't gonna hold up the class showcase, or what I was gonna say, the class and the showcase train just because I had something going on with my lungs, right? Who needs to get better faster, right? We just need to keep crafting. So I have a bunch of you that are already here with me. Hi, Nancy Mole from the North Shore of Lake Erie. Yay. Thanks for liking and sharing. Hi, Donna Palazzola. Donna, I'll let you know that Diana Woodland received her two-tone cardstock share over the weekend. Whoop, whoop. Yay. Thank you for sending that into her direction. I appreciate it for helping me fix that one. Hi, Jamie Kirkpatrick. And there's Connie Moore from Ohio. Hi, Randy Schultz from Michigan. And who else do we have? Hi, Sherry Everett. And there's Jean Shoot. Jean, you're on my radar. You're always on my radar. So I'm going to get... I promise you, you're going to get an email this month and we're going to get all of it caught up. So I'm excited to send you a nice little email. And there's Ann Bellinger. Hi, Cindy Bassett. Oh, you're very welcome for the birthday card. Yay. I'm glad it arrived. Hi, Kari Dwyer. Hi, Sandy Coy Emery. There's Donna Grushke and Sherry Martin. Yay. There's Susan Bellamy. Hi, Kathy Crumpton. I think that's the first time I said your name out loud. I'm glad you could join us for the live. Hi, Lynn Beasley. Hi, Holly. Who else is here? We have all been there, and you understand. I appreciate that. Hi, Debbie Gast. Hey, Sherry Stewart. There's Mary Sykes. Yes, Donna, she got it. So now you don't need to call unless you really want to pick up the phone and just call to say that I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. So every time that I call my friend Mandy from high school, she's my best friend throughout all these years. Every time I call her and I get her voicemail, that is how I start the message and I sing her that little tune. Very out of tune. So there's Mimi Howenstein. Hi, Jean Terwilliger. Oh, yeah. So who's going to Alaska? Mary Schreiber from Minnesota, and Mary Sykes is going to, watching from the cruise ship in Alaska. I love it. Enjoy and have fun. That sounds pretty amazing. So we have a great little class in store for you guys, and you're probably wondering, well, did you get registered for it, or maybe you didn't? How is it going? So I am going to give you a little update on how it's been going in the Hive and around here since last week. Let's say Thursday. We had a great class Thursday night, and Friday we had two lives on Friday. We had the class showcase, right? Which was pretty cool. I got to introduce the new registration form, and I am happy to report that as of maybe 10 minutes ago, I think 68 people used the new registration process. Wow, amazing. I have started since last night, I've been working my way through those people who filled out the registration form. After I make it through all of that, so there were about 28 lucky ducks who I was able to email back today. I sat at my computer from about 10 o'clock until 5:15, and I tried to sneak in as many responses for class signups as I possibly could. I started to get people asking me, did I get it? Did I get the form? Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Yes. If you got an email back saying you got the registration form completed, like the completed version back, that means I got it. It takes probably between 5 and 20 minutes to reply back to one person. The 5 minutes is if you're somebody who just requested maybe one or two things. easy. I can handle that really fast. Somebody who has it all and then some, and then past classes, and then the sweet share, you kind of see your name and I'm like, oh, I'm going to wait. So it's an investment in time, which is never a problem, but they take a little bit longer to get through. And I think even somebody, it took me about a half hour and no complaints, but that's why it doesn't just happen overnight. And you guys know I don't have Carissa helping me right now with registrations, and Kelly isn't transitioned into it. And it's a lot I've had a couple people reach out to say, hey, can I help you with it? And it's like, wow, at this moment, I'd rather hold off and get Kelly trained on it because she's here and she'll be able to ask me one-on-one questions easier. So I do appreciate those people that said, hey, can I help you with it? There's a lot of nuances and intricacies. And because I don't have a one-stop answer of this is what the class costs and this is how much your total is, and it's just add this plus this, just a formula. There's no secret formula. It's up here's the secret formula, and it depends if you are consolidating and if you're getting you guys know the drill, right? I guess what I'm getting at is I'm very happy I got through 28 registrations today. That was pretty phenomenal. I got through a few last night as well, and they're still coming, right? So don't fear if you haven't gotten an email from me. It's still in the works. I am super excited that new registration form, you guys, it comes into an Excel spreadsheet for me. And what I could do today, first off, I filtered on each individual class and I got everybody signed up for each individual class. So even though you didn't get an email from me, the exciting thing is that I know at this moment for class tonight, there are 32 people that are doing the online format with me. So even though you didn't get an email, you're probably going to hear your name in roll call. Now that's if you registered via the form. If you sent me an email to my MSN email address, my Christine at Cards by Crispy, or if you sent it to CBC Enroll, I haven't even started to dig into those emails. So you may not hear your name if you didn't use the registration process. Not to say that you won't get the class. I have lots of this class left, so don't fear either if you don't hear your name tonight. You wouldn't even have to forward the email back to me. I'll get to it when I have a moment, right? Hi, Cindy Rentry. Hi, Tanya Smith. There's Sherry Ott. Hi, Pat Bischoff, who gave me the most amazing gift in the mail. You guys are always so cool. I even took a picture of it. So Pat sent me, I don't know, Pat, do you mind me sharing? I hope you don't mind. Pat sent me a congratulations gift for earning my $1 million, and it's so cool. I opened it up. It was so nicely decorated. It is from Monticello Honey, and it was a whole body care collection with soaps and body washes and body butters. It was so amazing, and it smelled so good. I opened up a couple of them already, Pat, so I can't wait to use it. Kelly came down, and she's like, oh, you're going to use this? I'm like, yeah? Sorry, that's not for you. Those are mine. so hi, Yvonne Smith. Oh, Yvonne Ademeyer from New York. Yay. Hi, Sherry Stewart. No, Sherry, you're fine. You guys never apologize for when you send your registrations in. It's really, I saw it come in. I haven't had a chance to reply. So, and I thought I'd go in order with responses, but it's sometimes easier for me to feel like I'm getting a little further ahead by knocking out the ones that are easy, because I can get maybe 5 easier registrations done in the time that I would have gotten 2 medium to harder ones. So it's all, you guys, you know me, it always gets done. It always comes through, and it's never to worry. Naughty Nancy would always say it's just paper and don't worry about it. Hi, Karen Forward, my little die cutting machine. Just seeing what's happening. We'll see you in person on Monday for this class. Yes, absolutely. So if you have this on in the background, you'll know exactly what we're going to be doing on Monday. You guys, we've been hard at it. Okay, so we talked about the showcase. We talked about Friday a little bit. Then we rolled into the Share, Create, Inspire class. Oh, you guys, I didn't even bring them down. Oh, man. On Saturday, Amanda Waldhart was over at my house at 5 minutes to 8, and we worked until 5 minutes to 8. 12 hours she was over by me, and she drove from Janesville, so an hour and a half on the front end, and she drove home an hour and a half on the back end. So it was a 12-hour working day of having fun, right? So it never felt like work. And then on top of it, she had 3 hours of driving, so she had a long day. And she and I sat and we strategized like the paper that we wanted to use and what layouts we wanted to do, and we made 14 fall paper palooza cards. They're all designed And I'm happy to say yesterday afternoon from like noon until 5, let's say, we pulled all the cardstock and we're in the process of scoring it. We're cutting all the mats. The die cutters have everything. And so we're already rolling into the Palooza, which is set for, you could pick either October or November. So when you get your October registration form, you'll be able to sign up for the Palooza. So the Palooza got designed on Saturday, and some of you, hi Georgine, hi Ramona, some of you, hi Julie Bontrager, you love the new registration form. It was easy to use. Great. Well, it helps me keep everything concise and in one spot. So I appreciate it. And anybody who is not going to use the form and doesn't want to sign up for classes because they have to use the form, just email me like you normally did and it'll be fine. And you don't have to not take classes with me because of the registration form, right? I keep wanting to remind people that you don't have to. We'll fill it out for you if there are people that it doesn't work for. So some of you have been emailing back why it's taken me a little bit to get back to you, because after Amanda left at 8 o'clock, Tyler and I packed up the truck, put the canoe on it, and we packed all of our camping gear and we drove to Hudson, Wisconsin. And it's a 4-hour drive from 10 o'clock until basically 2 a.m. We rolled into Jenna's yard. Her and her family were fast asleep. And Tyler and I set up a tent in the dark with our headlamps. And from 2 to 3, it took us to set up everything. And all I know is by 3 a.m., my head hit the pillow. I looked at my phone. It said 3 a.m. It actually said like 2:59. Well, I rounded up to 3. And I set my alarm for 10 a.m. So, yeah. And then what we did on Sunday is we canoed down the St. Croix River. We started up by Taylor Falls, not quite as north as Taylor Falls. And we canoed down to Hudson. It was about 12 or 14 miles. And it was a 6-hour paddle. And it was pristine. The St. Croix River is so not dirty, I should say. It's a gorgeous river, and we saw bald eagles and we saw turtles and just pretty coastline of natural tree line versus industrial down closer to Hudson. We did have industrial when we got closer to Hudson, but the whole north part was good. So we canoed for 6 hours. You guys, Tyler was beyond happy. I think he thanked me like 15 times between being done with it till Tuesday morning. He kept saying, thanks for going canoeing with me. Thanks for going on a trip with me. Thanks for spontaneously like leaving fast. And I'm like, you're welcome. Like, I enjoyed it too. But it's hard, you guys, to get away and feel good about getting away when you know there's so much backlog of stuff to do. But it was good. Everybody keeps telling me it was good that it was good and we needed to get away. Hi, Anna Carter. What's the online class? How does it work? So this is an online class right now, Tanya. So I have card kits for the cards I'm going to make tonight, and you can watch it for free if you want to. Like, I don't charge for any of my classes that I do via YouTube. Like, my channel is completely open to the public. So classes are free for everybody. They're not free if you would like the kits. So if you'd like the card kits for tonight, class can be either purchased for $19 plus shipping, or you can place a $60 order and I mail them to you for free. So I offer classes online and in person, and this class in particular, the monthly class, I do both. So it's online tonight via the YouTube Live, and it's in person on, must be the 13th and Monday, the 8th, I think. So good question, though. Hi, Melanie Foy. Hi, Connie Moore. Already signed up for the Fall Palooza. Yay, good job. You and 6 others are already signed up for the Fall Palooza. And going back to that real quick, you guys, I did 96 of the annual catalog Palooza, and I sold out, and 10 more people registered via me to get them, and Amanda had them. So I was able to satisfy everybody that asked for a Palooza. The Fall Palooza, I'm planning for a little bit more. I'm actually kidding 108 myself. So I should have everybody that can get them from me directly, which is awesome. And there's 14 different designs, whereas the annual catalog Palooza was 21 cards because there were so many. We incorporated the January release of stuff, which was 4 more designer papers, and we technically weren't going to, but we thought, let's just do it. So we ended up with 21 cards, but we doubled up on the designs. Where this one, we had 14 papers, and we didn't double up on designs. We have 14 unique layouts, which is so cool. And so I'm planning for 108, and 6 people are already signed up already. And it's on my events calendar for October 1st for anybody that would want to go and fill out the registration form for that specifically. Okay, so leading us into Monday, we drove home. And then Tuesday, you guys, the most exciting thing, it's never happened before. In one day, my helpers and we kitted up the 5 core classes. So the suite, the ink, paper, scissors, the monthly, the Let's Just Stamp, and the Technique Club class. I had 8 people here helping me do various things on Tuesday. And by 5:30, we had the 5 core classes kitted, and we had 1 Fun Folds class kitted. And then on and then Wednesday morning, I had a few people come back and we finished kitting the other Fun Folds classes, the other Fun Fold cards. So this is what is on the table right now, you guys. These are like the Technique Club class, the Suite class, the ink, paper, scissors, and then there's Let's Just Stamp, and then back here is the monthly. Look at all those, and then Fun Folds is back here. You guys, that is a lot of card kits. So we really worked at it between Tuesday and Wednesday to get all that kitted, and then today's Thursday. And I already mentioned all I did today was sit at the computer and work on emails. I was supposed to go work on designing with a colleague of mine. We were going to start working on the Wounded Warrior project cards. And I made the executive decision last night that it was more important to respond to people than it was to keep designing, right? There's got to be a happy balance, you guys. So I chose all of you in communication with you over the designing, which I love corresponding and responding to people as well. So that's all good. So, all right. So you need that balance of work and play. You do. So usually, though, fun. Usually what happens though is when you go on vacation, it takes like a day or two to get into the vacation mindset, and then you finally get into it and then you're leaving. Well, this time I think I stayed in not vacation mindset because we were basically left on Saturday night and we were home by Monday. So it was good. It was good to get away. I can't deny it. It was good to spend time with Tyler. So, all right. Who else just joined us? Oh, do you know if Rose Coleman has helpers like I do? She does have helpers, but not like I do. I'm very blessed that I have the amazing helpers and the amount of amazing helpers I have. People want to be a part of the helping. It's so fun. On Tuesday morning, I had like my mom and Diane working on kitting together, and Sharon was working with Rhonda, and Kelly was here, and Anna popped in, and I was working with Annette, and it's just like everybody's just talking and chatting, and it's just social hour while we're working. So if you guys are ever missing something from your kit, Naughty Nancy says again, it's just paper. So it doesn't happen a lot because I have them really ingrained in triple checking that even when all the paper's laid out, if it came out even, they have to go back and look, because sometimes 2 stick together and then 1 doesn't have it. So they're trained to, because what happens is if they start talking and they look up and start conversing with each other, they keep going. And then they'll go back and they'll find it, right? But I will say yesterday at the end of the day, no, it was Tuesday at the end of the day after everything was pretty much kitted, we found 1 gem on the floor, and it was a streaked dot. And that streaked dot was used on about 7 of the cards, or maybe 6 of the cards, because it matched a lot of the brown. You guys, there's a lot of fall stuff. And they looked at me like with sad puppy dog eyes, like, you're not going to make us go back and look in every envelope and find which card kit may or may not be missing this 1 gem, are you? I said, no. If one of my gals is missing one of these gems and they are wanting it, they know they can email me or message me, and I will happily send the gem. And maybe they weren't missing it, because maybe it just fell on the floor because it came out of the package, right? So like if somebody's missing it and they have the gem at home, they usually just go at it. But it's like, no, we're not going to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours looking through absolutely every kit to find 1 gem that was missing in 1 kit. You guys, we are human. We are not machines. So, hi, Karen Wetstein. So, hi, Lynn Beasley. So just so you guys know, is that everything is always a labor of love, and my helpers love to help, but they are human too, and they don't want to necessarily go looking for hours through an envelope packet that might be missing a gem, and that's how it goes, right? We work it out. So, oh, hi, Laura Sullivan. Did I hear there is a new way to register for classes? There sure is, Laura. Absolutely. So if you sent an email to CBC Enroll, or if you sent me an email and you didn't do the registration form, I haven't seen it yet. I'm working through the official registration form now. And if you go to any one of my events on my website, like anyone for the month of September, the first paragraph under every one of my cover photos is a link. It includes a link to the registration form. And it's really helpful because it has your name and it has everything that possibly could have be put in your package for this month. And that will help me to not, you know what I might have missed? I might have missed a section for adding if you guys want a bow maker or a caddy or a cloth garbage bag. Or yes, I might have missed that section because people do order that on a monthly basis. So I think I need to make myself a note of that. I don't think there was a section for the bow maker, and then the caddy, and then the cloth garbage bag, and then the ink eraser, the adhesive eraser, all those little ad hoc things that we can add into your boxes that you wouldn't have to go shopping for them somewhere else. So, okay. Yeah, so I think I was missing that section. So it's okay. If anybody wanted that, there was an empty section that somebody's, like, if you wanted to get past classes or anything else, you could have written it in there. But, all right. Make sure to give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And I hope everybody does give me a thumbs up. So the more that we do thumbs up, the more that, and the more that you subscribe, like if you subscribe to my channel, that shares this with more of your hopefully crafty friends, and they can get in on all the amazing fun that we have. All right. It's a lot of kits. Is anybody curious how many it is? I didn't even do the math yet. But we had 80, 80, 96, 68, 60, and 16. Oh, but it's times number of cards. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Well, if anybody wants to do math really quick, it was 80 times 4, 80 times 4, 96 times 4. And then it was 68 times 3, 60 times 3, and 16 times 3. Okay? If anybody wants to add that up, yeah, go for it. It's a lot. When can we order cards for the Wounded Warrior? So right now, I already have 40 people signed up for the Wounded Warrior Project benefit, which is on November 1st. Connie, if you're not in a hurry for a response, you're welcome to send a quick email that says, hey, just add me to the list. Great, we can get you on the list already. But know that when we do the October registration form, we're going to include, even though it's not an October class, we're going to include it in the October registration. I think we're going to try to see if we can have those ready to mail out with October's classes, so you have them on the 1st. That's what my thought is, my idea is. But you're welcome to already send me a note, just like the other 30 some people have. We had a discussion over the lunch hour. We took a moment to eat lunch yesterday, and I said to a few of my gals that were here, I said, how many should we do? We had 352 last year because it was huge. It was the Statement of the Heart project. Stampin' Up came out. We had 100 people here in person. It's not going to be that big of a crazy party this time, right? I don't know if I could handle that again, but we are going to have it. It's going to be great, and it's going to be huge, but not as huge, right? So we did 124 for the MS benefit in April. So I asked my gals, do we do 192, 216, or 240? And the general consensus was, well, Diane wanted 192, and I said, no, it should be at least in the 200. So we're going to do 216 kits, and help me fill our goal of, if we do 216 and each one we donate $40, that is an $8,640 donation to the Wounded Warrior Project, and it helps our veterans that have become disabled. So that's what our goal is, 216. And then on top of it, we're doing a raffle. And so we'll definitely, hopefully, if all those card kits sell, we'll be over $9 grand for the donation. So if anybody wants to sponsor a veteran and provide a basket for the raffle in their memory of what they like, they don't win the basket, but somebody will win the basket, and the basket is inspired by the veteran. So if the veteran liked movies, or they liked golf, or if they liked sports in general, or if they like what I did for my friend John, he loves a good beer, he loves camping. So I did a s'mores with a pack of beer, and I did that kind of a basket, right? So it's a remembrance. So if anybody, we have a list of veterans that could be sponsored too. If you don't have a veteran that you'd like to sponsor, we have some, and you could either make a donation or send whatever it is that they like to us, and we'd wrap it up. So yeah, we're gonna have to start thinking about that. That is now less than 2 months away. So it's coming fast. So Yvonne needs a bow maker. Okay, so Yvonne, do me a favor, send me a note. When I drop my camera down, my email address will be there. And you can send me an email. And if you want any other classes though for the month, I strongly urge you to fill out the registration form. And you can find it on my website. So my website is cardsbycrispy.com. Go to my events calendar, and every event that is in September has the form, and you could add it in the open spot that says, would you like any past classes or anything else? You could write in there, I need a bow maker, and we'll make sure we get you a bow maker with your classes. Now, if all you want is a bow maker, we can just send me an email, all right? Because that would be perfect. All right, so you're probably gonna be pretty amazed that I got everybody's name on the list that I know of from the registration. So I went through and I wrote all these people on here. So I'm gonna do roll call really quick. Thank you to everybody who got their name on the registration form officially. If I missed saying your name, that means I didn't see it on the registration form. Doesn't mean that you can't do the class. We'll still get you signed up. I just am not gonna put your name in roll call because I don't know it. You're welcome to say it in the live that, hey, I signed up for class 2. I'll try to add it, and then I'll make sure to look for your registration, and we'll get it taken care of. Can we sign up? Yes, Judy Sharp, you can definitely sign up for the Paper Palooza. It's on my events calendar, October 1st. You can go to it right now. I have it set up. Go fill out the form. Yay. All right. I also like to do roll call to thank everybody for taking this class with me. Without you, you wouldn't give me lots of things to do, like design cards and cut paper and get all my helpers together, right? So it's always a labor of love, and I love to do it. And because you guys get kitted classes from me, it helps me keep going. All right. So first on our list is Tundra Hudson, and then we have Cindy McLeod, Julie Bontranger, Mary Lemke, Tracy Gruby, Sandy Coy Emery, Susan Bellamy. I will say, Susan Bellamy, you were the first one to fill out the registration form. Yay. And Sandy, you were the second. All right. And then we have Susie Ventlater, Pamela Leahy, Mary Jo Stoll, Connie Scott, Margene Eskelson, Karen Woods, Kelly Gibson, Kimberly Snow, Feline Mays, Linda Rios, Donna Grushke, Pat Fleming, Christina Bernards, Mary Novak, Lynn Beasley, Joanne Kahn, Leslie McMinn, Kathy Crumpton. Yay, this is the first time I'm saying your name out loud. Thank you for being, I know you signed up for a few things this month, but this is the first time I got to say your name out loud. Yay. Michelle Foran, Carrie White, Angelique McClendon, Mary Lemke, Fancy Nancy Billets, Wendy Kruger, and Brenda Cottrell. So, yay, I'm excited. I had 32 people. I went into this morning only having 10 people on my list. And so by the end, we added 22 people today, which was pretty awesome that we got through that. So, again, you guys, I'm gonna reiterate, we're still working on registrations. So, all right, what else? Okay, the Beekeeper's Guide, you guys. I've been getting questions about the Beekeeper's Guide, and it is in the works. We had a final, well, it wasn't the final. We had one more version proofread, and Susan Bellamy found a few more things on it, and Kelly is making those updates, and my goal is to have it in the Beekeepers folder by tomorrow morning, right? So that's pretty cool. It will have the culmination of everything that's in the new holiday mini, everything that's launched for the online exclusives, because the new stuff launched yesterday, and then also the annual catalog. What it doesn't have in it is anything that's last chance. We've been taking out the last chance stuff from it so that it doesn't get overwhelmingly huge, and last chance could be gone tomorrow. So we take out the last chance. So I'm looking for it. It looks generally the same on the surface, but it is version 3 is what you want to make sure you make note of. Now, for those people who want a printed version of it, I can connect you and be the liaison. I don't print them personally for people. I don't want to get in trouble, but I can connect you with your registration form to let my printer know you'd like a copy, and the money that you send will go to them. Okay, so that's great. And I'm going to pull open a copy of it. What did Jolene say? Love when you sing to me. Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. Yes, I sing. Jolene, when you meet Tyler, you're going to have to ask him, how often do I sing that song? I say it out loud, even when I say your name, that I said, I talked to Jolene today, and then I sing your name. So, all right, so the Beekeeper's Guide, it looks generally the same, but it is version 3. And you guys, this will be in the Beekeeper's Guide folder tomorrow morning. It is 98 pages, so it's about the same length as the last one. And these are still hyperlinks for you. And I have my message on the front end here, and then you still have all my QR codes to find lots of stuff. And then it takes you right into my order of how I think things are important. So color collections first, and then it keeps going into the suites. So today we're going to be working with the Sunflower embossing folder. So that, I believe, is an online exclusive. So you wouldn't really find it in print anywhere except for here, and it would be under embossing folders. And these are generally in order of chronological dates. And so she adds the new stuff at the end. So the Sunflower embossing folder. Oh, let's see where you are, Miss Sunflower embossing folder. Here's Peaceful Greenery's new. That one's new, that one's new. Ooh, Gathering Leaves. Susan Bellamy, if you're watching, can you send me a quick email? I think she's missing the Sunflower embossing folder. See, this is where it takes a lot of proofreaders to find things. Susan, if you don't mind, I think we missed adding the Sunflower embossing folder. So you'll have that, okay? All right, so I'm glad because normally I would see it somewhere right around here, okay, but that would be embossing folders. So everything is together by grouping. So the other thing I wanted to share with you tonight, we're using the tractor set. And that tractor set is not going to be found in a catalog. But when you're looking in the Beekeeper's Guide, you would be able to, that's not what I want. I'm going to go like this. You would be able to see, let's see where you are, tractor set of mine. This is all holiday mini stuff. The tractor launched. I don't remember when the tractor launched. There's the beautiful pumpkins. So like tonight for class, we're going to be using the beautiful pumpkins. That's for this card right here. Okay, so that though is in this catalog. So right now I can open this up and I can show you the inside finally. I could not show you the inside before yesterday because they don't, it's against compliance. So let's find here. I think the beautiful pumpkins. I always want to say the beautiful people, the beautiful people. Maybe beautiful pumpkins, you guys. I don't always remember when a catalog launches if things are online exclusives or if they are, oh, it would say right here. It was online exclusive. Okay, so here's a perfect example. She puts on here, Kelly puts on here that it was released in September of 2025, online exclusive. So this one is an example of where you wouldn't see it in a catalog because it's an online exclusive. So the only way you'd really get to see it is if you go searching the online store or a demonstrator shows it off on a video. I guess that's how you would do it. But so July online exclusive for tractor. So it would be up here. I wonder if Kelly doesn't have, so it goes straight from annual catalog. Textured Notes was online exclusive in March. So without looking through this one by one, I don't know if the tractor's in here because you guys, it is not alphabetical order. What she generally does is adds it at the end. So Susan Bellamy, if you want to send me another email, if you're still listening, send me a quick email and put on their tractor too. Just see if we've got the tractor in here, or if you can tell me if the tractor's in here, that would be awesome. It's very possible that because we go bundles and then we go to the stamps, right? So the stamps are here. And I was just going to look to see if the tractor stamps might be in here separately. Nope, I don't necessarily see them either at first glance. Okay, so then there's a section on dies. So the format is going to be the same for the Beekeeper's Guide. And there's the beautiful, or the handmade. Oh, I don't see the tractor either. I could be missing it though. All right, Jolene, I can put it in an email. All right, Jolene, yes. put on there, we need to check the July online exclusives releases to see if those are missing in general or if they are in there and I just can't see them. Hi, Joy Moody. Okay, so again, this is live now, you guys. We can share it. There's not as many things in it as you normally would expect, but there is a plethora of online exclusives that are available, right? So that's why we put the Beekeeper's Guide together, so you would have a one-stop shop. And the Beekeeper's Guide is available to those in my community who support me in my business by either buying classes from me or placing orders through me, taking events with me, or purchasing exclusive items I have, like the cloth garbage bag or the caddies or the bow makers. Once you spend $50 with me in the last quarter, you're eligible to have access to that folder. And to view it via the folder costs nothing except for supporting me in my business, right? So it's a little bit of, it takes Kelly lots of hours to make that document. And so it's a way for me to help offset that. So, all right. Check the Holly Jolly bundle. Yeah, that one, I didn't see it in there either. I think, and I don't know how she would have missed that whole grouping, but hey, it's very possible, you know? When you work a mile a minute, that's sometimes what happens. All right, so go team. I am gonna start making 3 beautiful cards with you. And then after we're done making the cards, we'll do a door prize drawing for those people who I know placed orders to get the class for free. And then I was very happy today because Kelly was able to pull names for me for the monthly creative challenge, the August class card challenge, the top bands got pulled, Share, Create, Inspire. And then also we've got the mystery card names for those people who made cards and the August VIP. So very cool. All right. I'm just renumbering these because one person got twice. All right. Perfect. There is no July exclusive. Susan looked. Okay, so you know what? Actually, Jolene, if you don't mind, send a note directly to Kelly and tell her that none of the July online exclusive items are in the Beekeeper's Guide. We definitely don't want to publish it tomorrow if we're missing them. And hopefully she has a little bandwidth tonight. If you can message her now, she could maybe work on it right after the kids are put to sleep. So yeah, they usually go to bed around 8:30 or 9, and she could potentially work on it then. All right. Yes, you're right. Lynn, the tractor is an online exclusive, and it was a July online exclusive, and I think we're missing all of the July online exclusives. There was probably maybe 20 things that got released in July, so hopefully she can, wham bam, thank you ma'am, put them in there really fast. Okay, all right. So let's start. We're going to work on a card kit. So just so you guys know, everybody who takes class with me, you will get a golden ticket like this. It'll have the name of the class and the date. And it is the 4th today. And if you're looking for this class in YouTube, you can look by the name or you can look by the date. And also if you're in my events calendar, which is at the website here, when you click on the event for today under September 4th, and it takes you in here, right now, it doesn't have the link to the YouTube, but I will put right here at the front end of this, I will put a click here to watch the YouTube video. So if you ever have the date, but you don't know where to find the YouTube video and you can't remember where my email is, if you can get back to my events calendar, it'll be there. And how I mean by that is, like, let's look at, oops, wrong thing. Well, here it is. You can watch the replay for this class on YouTube by clicking here. That is the sentence I always have underneath the cover photo. I just haven't added them yet for September classes yet. Thanks, Jolene. All right, let's go first here. So you guys have been going crazy over the sunflower embossing folder. So we did an embossing, or we did a card featuring the new sunflower embossing folder. Now, if you guys are out on Pinterest, you're out on the demonstrator planning place, in Facebook, or if you're out on the internet anywhere, you're probably going to see lots of really, really pretty, amazing cards that are using this sunflower embossing folder. My favorite technique that I've seen somebody do is where you take ink and you ink up the embossing folder and then you run it through the machine. And that is a really, really cool technique. We chose, hi Becky Rohr, we chose not to do something like that because I can't ask one of my helpers to do 68 of them. But I wanted to put it out there that that is definitely an amazing option when you're using this embossing folder to make a really pretty card. What we opted for was to use an embossed crushed curry mat, and then using a sponge dauber and adding a little bit of ink around the edges here in crushed curry. And then we used a little bit of pecan pie in the middle. It was a little softer than espresso. So you also could do your leaves, but we chose just to leave it more monochromatic. It's not even, there's multiple colors, but we chose to leave the yellow, just the flower colored, and not the leaves down here. And Rhonda did, she asked me, can I put 2 of them on here so I could double the amount of embossing? And I said, no, no, no. We wanted this one flower up here, and then we kept everybody's consistent, right? So when I open this up, you're gonna find 3 gems for your card kit, right on the top there. And then you have your yellow inside, it's double matted. And then you have your vanilla. Your label is from Unbounded Love. And so when you look at your embossed flower, it's gonna look pretty much the same as what the sample looks like. So I will also say that none of these card kits have been mailed out to anybody. We literally just kitted them on Tuesday, and tomorrow we're gonna take all these cards and lay them all over the counter and marry up the tickets, the golden tickets with the cards, and some people are getting theirs mailed next week Friday, and some people are getting them mailed on the 22nd after the escape is done, right? So nobody really had them, so I gave Jolene a pass that she didn't have to have the tutorial done today for me to email it to everybody before class. So she's watching the class, and then we'll write up the tutorial, and then she usually has less questions for us on the back end. So just know that the tutorial hasn't been emailed, and I will plan to email it probably by Saturday will be our goal. So Jolene will need tomorrow to write it up, then we'll proofread it, and I could say by the end of the weekend we'll have it emailed out to people, okay? So just a little disclaimer on that. All right, so I made a card using two-tone cardstock with the folder and sanded it. Great idea, Sherry. So she used two-tone cardstock, and then you can brush off and it gives it that white look underneath. So this is your mat for here. Now we did also use two-tone cardstock. We used Mossy Meadow, so it's darker and lighter. And you would think I would have brought a sanding block down here, but I didn't. So you guys, we're gonna have to refer to my nail file again. I think that's what we did the last time. We embossed that with the exposed brick embossing folder. Hello, Catherine Healy. And then you have a little bit of the green and gold ribbon. That is also, it was part of the Painterly Pears suite. And then your espresso base. It's all about the base. No trouble. So first things first, let's go ahead and look at this. So I feel bad I don't have a sanding block down here, but I think this does the trick. So when you have the two-tone cardstock, it has a white core center. And when you emboss it and you sand over the top, it takes that top layer of color off and it exposes the rough white core, I guess. So it works. So if you don't have a sandpaper or a buffing block, or not a buffing block, but a sanding block, using your Revlon nail file will also accomplish the trick. Hi, Mimi Heiwenstein. Just sent you from, wait, what? Just sent my enrollment for what if we send new form after monthly show, then later want to add a class? Oh, okay, so Mimi, that's a really good question. All right, so I think what happens, and we don't have to do this middle area here because it gets covered up. I will answer that question and I will tell you what my general thought on it. So what Mimi is wondering, you guys, is, all right, you filled out the registration form. So I did the showcase, you filled out the registration form. Let's say you only picked a couple things, and later on in the month, you want to add something. And what should you do? Should you use the enrollment form, or should you do just an email, or what is it? So here's what my general thought is. The enrollment form that you guys are doing right now is my all-encompassing, like, easy way to get me through the month and make sure I don't mess anything up, and keeps everything in a one-stop shop location for me. And let's say we get down the road and 2 weeks later you want to add a class. By all means, by then I've gotten through the influx of all the orders and I know what everybody wants, and you wouldn't necessarily need to use the enrollment form. Like, I plan to use that hot and heavy now, and basically after the first shipping date, I should have everything squared away and I don't have hundreds of emails coming in for class enrollment. If you want to send me an email to chrismbertram@msn.com and copy the CBC enroll. Just do that and say, hey, I'd like to also add this class, and you can ship it all by itself, right? That's fine. Like, that's perfect. Like, it's not part of, it's going to not be part of the normal shipping. Unless you decide today that, oh man, I already did that form and now I want the monthly class. What should I do? Well, message me and I will add it to your enrollment now, right? I don't want another one coming through. I just want one enrollment per person, and I can on the back end go into the spreadsheet and edit it, right? So that's probably what I'll do. So don't fill out another enrollment, because otherwise you're gonna have two of them, and then that'll be confusing for me. So just send me a note, right? Send me an email, right? Send a carrier pigeon. No, just kidding. Don't do that. All right, so there's one. Hi, Anik. How are you doing, my friend? All right, so let's keep going. We're gonna do this guy. Yep, we gotta remember, you guys, so this is a cool technique that you can do with two-tone. So Rose Pullman is my colleague in Canada. If you are in Canada and would like to do classes with Rose via me, the Sweet Bundle class is the one you could get signed up for, or her Technique Club class that she does. And she featured with her Totally Cute, I think it was back in June, she featured Totally Cute. Her technique that she featured was two-tone cardstock, using two-tone cardstock. So this is kind of cool, because what it does is it pulls it. It doesn't necessarily look white when you have vanilla. It kind of is soft. And so that's all, oops, here, let me zoom back out. So that's what we're doing for that, just to give it that roughed up look. Now, you just have to be careful. If you start taking off too much, you can't undo what you do, right? What would you do, for a Klondike bar? So you just don't want to overdo it, right? Good deal. Sherry Stewart, all good. I hope you find, oh, you guys are chatting. Good. All right, so there might be little schnibbles here. So we can go ahead. I'm going to glue these. Now, we made the executive decision that we liked the light side up. If you wanted to do the dark side up, your little bit of sanding is not going to quite be the same, right? Because of how the embossing folder works. All right, so let's glue that down. As long as I got the glue open, we're going to glue our crushed curry in the inside, or on the inside. Now, there's really no difference to these, except for you want to make sure that if you didn't emboss an area, oh, ha, 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 isn't that funny? So that will only work on this outer one, but we'll have to go back onto this one and finish this up, because you see everything on that one. So let's put this on here as long as we got glue going. All right, so when you open this up, you see all of it, right? So, aha moment here. So we're gonna go back and button that up. So it's kind of cool. In this two-tone cardstock, it comes 12 sheets in a pack, and they're 12 by 12. So to do a class with 68, it was awesome. I could just buy one pack and it was enough, and we had even a couple sheets left over. All right, so with this stamp, I used the Unbounded Love stamp set. Now, I have to say, Jay Shante from Harsha and we designed these cards together. And if you are in the Harsha Minocqua area watching me and you'd like to do this class in person, she will be offering this as an in-person class for people as well. So I did here Unbounded Love and Happy Birthday, and on the inside, may all your wishes come true. The other option, if you have these words, is it would make a pretty sympathy card. So it has in this set with sympathy, and then the words on the inside are my heart goes out to you. Ignore my email. I found the form and placed your order. Yay! Good job. Good job. Well done. So I'm going to grab the Early Espresso ink, and I'm going to use Happy Birthday. And so the Happy Birthday doesn't fit in the label on the outside, but may all your wishes come true fits on the outside here. So we'll do that. The label here also comes from Unbounded Love. So there's that one. And then we'll put Happy Birthday in here. Now, normally we don't like naked insides. Oh, but because we're operating with an embossing folder and a stamp set that has only words, what would you put on the inside is the question. So I didn't pull any sets that have a sunflower or flower or butter. A butterfly would be pretty too. If you guys have a butterfly, I don't have one down here, you guys. All my stamps are upstairs. Well, yeah, they're almost all upstairs. So you could stamp a pretty butterfly up here in the corner. Is there a grocery list for the Wounded Warrior? So Not at the moment, Vanessa. I chose to respond to people and do correspondence today that instead of designing the Wounded Warrior cards. I figured 1 week wasn't going to make or break us with grocery lists. So next week, Thursday, it is planned that I will work on designing the cards. And then my goal is by Saturday of next weekend to have the grocery list. And that grocery list will have everything that we need to do 216 cards. All right, so it hasn't been shared yet, but yes, it will be shared. So the reason we can donate $40 of the registration, which is basically the whole thing. So the Wounded Warrior benefit costs $40 plus shipping. We donate all $40 because all of the materials, for those that are newer to me, all the materials are donated by our amazing community. And so we're able to donate 100% of that $40 for each event, each person's kit, right? So super cool. So again, if you have something you want to stamp for a focal image, emboss the bottom of the inside piece. Oh, okay. I get what you're cooking here. So what Sherry just suggested to do is to emboss this bottom. Okay, so let me go grab the machine. All right, I'm gonna go grab the embossing machine and then the plates and stuff. So just give me a few seconds here. All right, that was a very, very good idea. So let me show you what Sherry just suggested. And we're gonna grab the machine out here, and then we need to make sure you use the adapter plate for the 3D embossing folder. We're gonna find the section that we want to emboss, and I'm feeling like either that or over here. I'm liking right there. We get a nice little leaf. So I'm only gonna put it to, I wanna do the whole thing. So I'm gonna do a little bit. We're gonna plop this in here. So the main trick I wanna tell you guys when you're embossing is I always make sure that Stampin' Up logo is facing up, right? So that's, to me, the top. And what we're gonna do is run this through. Like this. Oh, you're funny. You know what? Haha, Sherry Stewart, haha. So you're right. I should have maybe done the top because, oh, because now when I put this in here, you're gonna see that on the bottom. Yep, you're right. Just the top. Okay, so you guys, this is us playing and improvising. So one moment, I'm gonna grab a new vanilla mat for myself and one moment, please. Okay, one moment. I would prefer to have the top. You are correct. I would do the top. It's, yeah, I could live with it, but I'd rather live with it on the top. So let's do that one more time, right? So when you do things multiple times, it makes you better at them, right? So let's try this again. This time, I'm going to do the top though. So I like the same spot. I'm gonna go right there. We're gonna do, right now it doesn't matter because I don't have words stamped. I'm not picky, you guys. Just kidding. I'm the pickiest. Just ask Tyler. He says it all the time. And I always say, yeah, I may be picky, but I picked you. And he says, I use that all the time on him. Okay, so we're making it the top. And we're going to go back here and stamp our happy birthday. Let's try it one more time and let's just see what it looks like. Maybe stamping a butterfly. It's all right, Sherry. We can improvise and go on the fly. See, this is called stamping and crafting on the fly. All right. So let's do this real quick. So we have our label and we're going to do one back here and one waiting in the wings. And the thing with this gold ribbon and green ribbon, it's green on one side and then it's gold and green on the other side. So pick what you like better. I actually liked having a little more gold showing. So what I did is, I think there's enough to go back. So I don't go back and forth like this. What I do is I put a tail, right? And then I bring it back up, right? So I'm gonna bring it right back up and make a loop. Oh, let's just see. Let's just see if there's enough. You could do a loop and a tail and a loop and a tail, or let's just see what we've got here. So I'm gonna go like this. Oh, we gave you enough to go back and forth. Oh yeah, perfect. Yep, so there is enough. There's just enough to go back and forth. And then grab your tear and tape that you had waiting in the wings and put that on the back, and then grab some dimensionals. I'm gonna put that, so you gotta be careful because this side overhangs a little bit, and I just remembered that. So we're gonna bring it over right about here, right? Because there's a little bit here. You don't want your adhesive sticking out over the edge, right? So that's kind of prepped and staged. We're gonna get sponge happy now. So I've got some crushed curry ink, and I grabbed Old Olive, and I have the brown. So let's start with the yellow. They call me Mellow Yellow. All right, you gotta be careful because when you ink up, you're gonna I call it being sharp, like you're gonna have a sharp color, right? So you don't want it to be so super thick and sharp. And I'd say start in an area where it's gonna get covered up, right? So I'm gonna go right over the top of this just to see, and that's good. So I don't want it much darker than that. And you guys might not even be able to see as much in the video, but I'm just gonna hover, light hand, delicate touch. All right, but sponging crushed curry right over the top of the crushed curry paper is gonna help illuminate your petals, right? You don't need to put a lot of pressure, right? That's probably even more than I want, but I don't have as much over there, but that's okay. Just know that with this too, you can always add, but you cannot take away, right? And I'm always going off to the side there to get that heavy dose of sponging out of the way. Right, so what it does is it kind of draws attention to those petals, really cool like. All right, so since I have this dauber in my hand, I'm gonna go over here. Now, this you have to be really careful because it's vanilla, right? So you don't want it too sharp at all. But I'm gonna go ahead and see about adding color on that. And then the rest is green and brown. So I think that might be it for the Mellow Yellow. I haven't used the embossing folder yet. Well, it is a pretty one. It was on low inventory, and then it was back, and then it was on low inventory, and then it was back. And now I think it's on low inventory. So this was my Mossy Meadow Old Olive brush. So we're gonna just maybe add a little bit of green action there, and then we're gonna add a little. Now, this isn't even in my sample, you guys, so just so you know, like this is just impromptu doing some crazy stuff, right? So normally I wouldn't have even, I don't even know if Jolene's gonna list the Old Olive ink in the tutorial or not because it's gonna not be photographed as part of it, right? But we're just seeing and playing, right? So the other color then that we're gonna use is Pecan Pie. We started off by using espresso, and espresso looked really dark. So we opted for pecans that are made out of pie. And again, it's gonna be really sharp. It was just a little softer than espresso. Okay, so that would look super cool if you had this whole thing vanilla and then you sponge and color it, right? Right? Really soft, delicate. So I could see that being an amazing card too with that concept. Now, on this one, let's see here. Oh, same concept, to go really light. You can add, but you can't take away. My photopolymer stamp won't stick onto the block. What can I do? You wash it. Washy, washy, washy. Take it underneath the sink. Take it under the sink and between your fingers, make sure the drain is on your sink so that the stamp doesn't fall through, but just take your fingers and go like that to the stamp. What happens is the photopolymer gets little fine like filaments and hairs and dust particles on it, and it loses its stickiness. That's what I'm going for. All right, very good, very good, very nice, very nice. Yeah, you can definitely wash your photopolymer stamps. It's definitely okay to do. I would highly recommend it, especially if they fall off. All right, glue. Let's get these on here. So you can see what I mean by that black Stampin' Up logo was on the top. It was bumped up, and then that is inverted, right? So, just so you know, that can go, oh, that's the wrong size. One moment, please. I didn't remember that was supposed to be 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. So we can fix it. Well, I can fix this side. Let's see. How is it centering? Let's cut off this side. Oops. Well, let's cut a little off each side. Okay, so you guys, I have a guillotine that works great if you have your glue on already, right? It happens. So you have a track cutter, it's not so good. I'm gonna get this right there. You guys aren't gonna have to worry about this. I cut a new piece and I cut it wrong. And I think that I still have the right height. Okay, good. So I must have stopped paying attention at some point. Now this should fit in there. All right. Anique says, make sure your blocks are squeaky clean. Oh, that's a good point. Anique is so correct. I take rubbing alcohol or acetone and clean up your blocks too with a baby wipe or paper towel. Definitely. All right, so that's what it looks like if you've got a little coloring at the top, right? It's nice, it's all good. And then what we're gonna do is a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Just shake your rump, right? You guys might know that song. All right, so I'm gonna put 3 at the top, and then I'm gonna put 3 along the bottom, and for good measure, right there. So this allows me to get the dimensionals as close to the edge without going over, like that's on The Price is Right, right? And a little mountain climber. And then you get them close to the edge on that one too. And all I did was center this, top to bottom, left to right. And then this guy, he's staged and ready to go. We'll pick those off. Grab your ribbon scissors. It's sometimes easier to cut the tail like that and like that while you have it mid-air. And then get that off to the side. So we've got green, green, and green. These don't get lost so much when they're on the label. So you got 2 big and a small, or 2 small and a big. So we just kept all the little gemsies on the label. And right about there. Okay. So what could you Stella? And I'd stay away from this. If we were on our A game, we would have Stella our label and then let it dry, but we didn't. That's always an option, but you could Stella that embossed area here. You could also do this. You want to stay away from your ink blending because it'll just make it bleed. So, lovely card. Thank you, Cindy. Yay, we got one done. Okie dokie. Very nice, very nice, very nice. I'll leave that there for a moment, and we're gonna go on to card number 2. So there's 2 left. One is white and one is vanilla, right? So the white one is our tractor card. Nope, the white one is is the pumpkin card. So we'll do pumpkin first. Hi, Kari, do I have to step up? We'll catch the replay. Sounds good. I've got all kinds of that around the house. Perfect. All right, so we're done with this one for the moment. This one is intense. I would have to say this is a gourmet card. It's heavy and there's lots of pieces. So this is also a double dipper. So for those people, when you guys get your escape boxes, we did piggyback and use this one twice. We used it in the escape and for this class. These are the streaked dots that I was talking about. They are the brown ones that just launched. And with this one, we feature Cajun Craze, Basic Beige, and Espresso. So you'll have a little pumpkin stump and you'll have a big pumpkin stump. Love you sharing the ideas to make the beautiful card. You're very welcome, Anna. There's a greenery. Now, just to note, this is 1, but we cut it into 2, right? So it's this guy right here, but then this piece, right? So we're gonna cut that right here, and that's coming out there, and then this piece is what's coming down here, right? So it's 1 die, but we made it into 2 pieces to save the die cutters. And then this one is right there. You have a little beige strip for your sentiment. You have a little bronze, this is some of that earthen foil, little bronze pumpkin. We took this pumpkin, the bigger one, and we die cut it, and then the helpers embossed it too. So it's plaster, I call it the plaster of Paris embossing folder. I am super, super sad. Somebody told me last week, I think it was Amanda. Amanda told me, wait, let's go here. Amanda told me that that plaster of Paris embossing folder is on last chance. I almost didn't believe her. I have to look. It is. Oh, it's on sale, so that's a cool thing. But this is what we're calling the plaster of Paris embossing folder. It's like one of the only embossing folders that is like a nice background pattern. Like, I loved the subtle embossing folder. I loved the tasteful textiles, and then that was plaster, right? That one worked. All these little squares are gonna mat onto each other. But this one right here actually has a little embossing going on. Not embossing, sorry, choose your words. A sponging. And I will say that I had a pecan sponge here, and I'm just gonna blot it out, and we're gonna go for it and use espresso. See the difference? It's more dark brown. So I'm gonna just go around the horn here, adding a little bit of sponging. Everybody has different ways. Some people put this flat and work their way onto it. You can have lots, you can have little, you can have some coming in more. It's really just to make it so it's not so stark basic beige on the side. If you feel like you get too thick in a spot, well then get too thick in other spots, right? And the trick for me is I try to not make it look consistently off. Like if I've got a thick one there, I'll try to make a thick one maybe over there. And it's just adding a little bit of coloring to the edge. So that's using a sponge dauber and espresso ink. And then you also have here, we use the woven textiles paper, and Karen cut them and banner punched them already for you. So the trick though is you just want to lay it on your embossed mat here. Okay, so that's exposed brick again. When you lay it on here, we have it so that you see the basic beige at the top, and then there's a little bit of gap at the bottom. If for any reason it's a little bit shorter, that's okay. If it's longer for any reason, you could trim it off the top. We used a punch that's called triple banner punch. It's long since retired. I'm guessing 5 years ago. I never get rid of it. You could always use a scissors and then, could use a scissors and then banner punch that, or cut it. But we like to use the banner punch. It's just an amazing tried and true punch, right? And then you have a piece of basic beige is what we use for our inside mat. Now, I will have to say 99% of the time, Rhonda or I or Chris or somebody will make your bows for you. This is some of the new It's vanilla and gold baker's twine. It is very slick and slippery. So I did not want to put Rhonda through the effort of making all your bows, and then with us manhandling them, and then you manhandling them, and then them getting in the mail. I didn't want to go through the effort, and then they like slip apart on you, and then you got to make your own bow anyways. So we're using the bow maker. So if anybody wants these, I sell them. My old babysitter, who I used to babysit as kids, he makes them for me. And I just thought I'd show you how to make it. We gave you 10 inches, is more than enough. You could even make yourself a double bow. So this is just a single bow on here. But the trick to it, now you might not even do a bow, right? You could even, if you want to take this and make like fold it in half and make a little loop at the top here and skip the whole bow, make a little loop, and then put that on the top, right? And then that would look cute as well, right? But I figured I'm gonna make a bow. I'll show you how to do it. So the trick though is you have to tie it super tight, okay? So I'm gonna go around twice. So this is 1, 2, right? You have plenty to hang on to here. My nails are abused and coming together up here, so like the holes are getting bigger. So I'm going down towards the bottom, but normally the nails would be going straight up and down, and you could go either top or bottom. But the trick is then you cross in the back, and you go up and over and back down under. Now here's where I mean you have to be super tight. So as you're tightening this, continue to tight. You can see that my hands are really pulling tight. Now, if your hands can't do that, you might opt to have somebody make it for you, or do what I just showed, the overhand knot and having a loop come out and then the tails come out together. Now, it needed to be tight because of how slippery this ribbon is. So you can trim your tails here, what you think they might need to be. There's a little bit of leftovers. And then, so because I pull them so tight, that's why my holes get abused. So, and usually the bow makers have the holes on the side to put your nails in. All right, so your bow is made. All right, so good deal. And when we put glue dots down, it'll help to hold that shut. All right, so there's our bowsy. So let's get this glued. So we can glue this and glue this. We can glue that everywhere we're gluing. All right. Oh, which side are we using? Oh, let's say you don't like that side. I think this card would look fabulous with that side too, right? So you get choices. Sherry loves her banner punch. Yes, it is an awesome punch. So I'm gonna flip this over because we're gonna, now if you wanted to sponge the outside of this mat too, you could definitely do that. All right, so we're gonna glue this, glue that. All right, I think that's good for now. So we're gonna put that one on here. And then this one on there. So when you get card, for those that are newer to me watching, when you get card kits from me, when I open up the envelope, that's what you get too. So mine, I'm just showing you a kitted card that we did in our kitting process. So anything punched like that is usually punched. Normally I make bows for you, but, or Rhonda does or Chris does, but this time we opted not to because of the ribbon that we used. Any of this die cutting comes die cut for you. And this is just centering it left to right, top to bottom. And then this can get glued in, or glued to the outside. Any embossing is done. The only thing we don't generally do and never do, it's against compliance to stamp images or stamp any stamped art. Like we can't stamp anything in the kits. So you would have to provide your own stamps and ink and adhesive. The banner punch was the first punch you purchased when you joined in 2020. Oh, very good. So it was still around then. Well, there's been multiple banner punches. There's a triple banner punch, and then there was another banner. There's been a few banner punches through the years. So we're going to make this to say celebrate, because this could be a very pretty Thanksgiving card, right? So celebrate comes from the stamp set called Beautiful Motifs, right here. One of my favorites, because all the different words, celebrate. And you can celebrate at Thanksgiving time. So we're going to do, oh man, look what I just did. I got ink in my card. I'm glad it was the back. You'll have that on those bigger jobs. So Nancy, you can see here, my stamp is starting to not stick, right? it's a kind of flippy floppy. So that means it's time to give this stamp a washing. So one moment. So you want to make sure, so this is a smaller stamp. You want to make sure it doesn't fall down the drain. And what happens now, you pick it up and it should stick very good. So I'm good with that. And we're just going to make sure that's straight. We're going to stamp Celebrate. Could be a birthday card, a get well card, a thinking of you card. This card could be multiple things for the fall. On the inside, we don't have any words. So choose your words. If you have a Happy Thanksgiving, great, use it. If you don't, what do you want it to be? I did grab Cajun ink and Old Olive ink. And we've got the pumpkin, the beautiful pumpkin, the beautiful pumpkin. We've got this one right here we're going to use, and that guy. And then there's a little baby stem. So I don't think I grabbed blocks for them. So let me do that. And we use Cajun Craze and Old Olive. So this is the more detail. This is the more solid. Is there going to be kitty spotting? Yeah, look! Oh, there he comes. Oh, you can see him right here. Wait. I think he's more that way. Tagar. Hi, big boy. Hang on. Oh, you guys see my fancy pants. Hang on. Here's our big boy. Tagar, gotta look at the camera. Mom, I don't want to. Yeah, look, you gotta look, buddy. Okay. All right, there you go. Whoa, there he goes. Okay. I didn't think you guys would get to see my crazy pants. That's what I wore today, was my comfy pants. And actually, Tyler's mom gave me those for Christmas like 4 years ago. And they're probably the most comfortable pair of pants I own, but they're the ugliest pair of pants I own. So I went for comfort today, you guys. Don't mind my crazy pants, all right? Oh, you got to see below the curtain today. You got to see the pants. All right. It's all good. You guys don't judge, I know. So we're going to do that, stamping off. All right. And then we can do the one with more detail right here over the top. All right. Now, I will say that sometimes it's easier to do, so we're going to glue this in anyways. Sometimes it's easier to do the detail first, like this, and then to do the solid over the top because you can see the detail, right? So hi Yvette Smith. Late, but it's always better late than never. All right, so that, and then there's a little stemmaroo, which I probably think I'm gonna lose, but I'm not. Nancy, you set me up there. All right, and Tigger too. You guys must have been on the same wavelength. All right, so for words, I honestly, if anybody knows of a Happy Thanksgiving that's current right now with Stampin' Up, I don't know. There are so grateful to have a friend like you, thankful for the small things. And then branching out has wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. Like that could be for, and then you could handwrite Happy Thanksgiving, blah, blah. And then there's also gathering moments has gather, expressing heartfelt gratitude. Oh, let's use that one. And many thanks. And then there's also Amber Autumn. Oh, Autumn Wishes. All right. Let's go with Autumn Wishes. All right, so these are both red rubber. And I don't know if you guys saw the memo. They will be going away from red rubber here. I don't know if I caught the time frame on it. So Autumn Wishes. We're going to use the espresso. And because it's red rubber, we're going to practice on the back first and see how it stamps. All right. Nice. Very nice. Let's hope I can do that again. Good job. All right. Very good. And then what we can do is we're going to put this all together. I think we're just going to glue this. And if you are a double matting kind of person, this would be pretty double matted with espresso behind it. Okay, Debbie said, I've only been doing this for about 3 years, but I've never seen a Happy Thanksgiving stamp. You know, there is one. Let me go see if I can find it. I think it's in the set called Choose Happy, actually. Tigger Body. Choose Happy. Look at it. I found it. So this was Renee Conkey's $1 Million Stamp Set. I believe it says it right here. And you've got Happy Thanksgiving. Well, there you go. So I've already stamped my inside. It says Autumn Wishes. But for those that have Choose Happy, you've got a Happy Thanksgiving. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. All right, we're popping up this pumpkin. So let's stage the back with some dimensionals like that. Okay, let's picker those off and have them staged, ready to go. This one also, we'll pop this up with dimensionals. Definitely opted to use the dark ones. I would have used the big ones if I would have any handy, but well, I've got all the wee little ones. I also bought a few extra of the stamps that are red rubber that I will use a lot. There you go. All right, this is going to get popped up. Pop it up, pop it up. Centered left to right. I don't know if it's centered down the equator or if it's a little north of the equator, but kind of visually see how much I want it up there and how much down here. And our pumpkin, it's right about here. It is hanging off to the left a little over the brown margin. There's a little pinky width down here. And for our big stump, could use a white dimensional near the top. And then what I would do is add a little bit of liquid glue. Ooh, that's probably too much. Just spread that around. Little liquid glue at the base, because this goes over the top of the pumpkin, so it'll stick to it, and then it'll get popped up at the top. And this little guy, he's going to be flat on the side, but up. We'll put a couple dimensionals off to the side here. And with foil, I don't like to use liquid glue because sometimes you see the lines of the glue. So I'm going to just use a couple glue dots. And then it's down just a little bit from the bottom here, a little, right? Now this stumperoo is super, super tiny. So I think what I'm going to do is roll up a glue dot, all right, and put that on the back of the stump, like that. Okay, so that'll be the glue we have on there. Then the leaf, the one that's not cut, that's going to be hanging out right here. There's a little spot right in the nook here, a little crevasse of the pumpkins is where you can put a glue dot. And there might be some hokey pokey that you need to do right on the squirrely cue there. And this, I don't know, if you want to put a little dot of liquid glue, you could right there maybe. And then this will catch the dimensional like that. And then you've got your stumperoo, can go right like that. And if you want to move the leaf out, you can. I guess it's your card. Figure out what looks best for you. But once you start going at it, it's gonna take shape, and it can move this back just a hair, and then the stump will fill in that little hole that's right there, like that. Okay, then this guy, I have that flat, this one flat, and what we could do is just keep them all flat, or you could even pop up, but I think flat is good. You have to be careful when you're using these dies and gluing this paper. There's a lot of cuts through the leaves, and if you use too much glue, it's gonna ooze out on you. So I only did a little, and this is hanging out right on the side like that. And then for this bow, I would use a glue dot, and I'm gonna put 2 of them right next to each other. Kind of a massive goo ball here, a snot dot right there. Grab that bow and then stick it to the glue dot really good so that it won't want to come apart later in life, right? Now, if you need to trim up your tails, now's the time. Make them just a hair shorter. Ooh, come on. All right. And then, well, let's stella this really quick. The pumpkin here can be stellaed. Your leaves could be stellaed. Your stumperoos. Good. Okay, then this guy too. Give him a little stella juice. All right, so the label is gonna go right about here, and this is going to attach back here, right? So that little leaf is hanging up over the label, right? So what you could do is grab the tear and tape and put a little line of it back there. I don't know if we need one waiting in the wings. We'll soon find out. Okay, so we're gonna attach that so that leaf is coming up right underneath where the T and the E are. And I did add a little glue, just a little bit there and there. And why not? Oh, you know what? So I've got a dimensional that's right underneath the label on this side, right over there. And the rest of it rests over the pumpkin, which already has, it's already raised. I can see a little bit of this beige down here, and it's in line with the brown espresso here. You could have it over a little bit too, but I guess what I did is I lined it up with the brown here, and then you see a little beige down there. You got a little glue on there. Wow, it's very cool. And then up here for your streak dots, you'll have a big and a small, and then you'll have an odd one. And whatever the odd one is, I put it down over there. Nice. Okay, there's your, I think this is our gourmet card. So many pieces, and then we put autumn wishes, but you could do definitely happy Thanksgiving. If you have choose happy, go grab it. But I wouldn't make bows if I didn't have a bow maker, because when I have a bow maker, my bows turn out like that. And it did weigh heavy on me if I should make your bows, because I was afraid with Rhonda doing them, they wouldn't be quite as tight, because I didn't want, she said she made so many bows for me the other day and her hands started to go numb. So I don't want my helper's hands are going numb from making the bows. So we definitely, like, if you guys all made them, I hope you're okay with that. All right, Anik, going back to bed. Sounds good. Jennifer Jones, you love them coming in late. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. We've got 2 scoops done. We've got our sunflower card and we've got the pumpkin card. All right, so let's make our last one. So the last card is from the set called Tractor and Company? Question mark? Yeah, it's Tractor and Co. All right, so definitely did not use any of the stamps from it except for sentiments. So for those of you who got this class with me, you don't even need to own the stamp set. You don't even need to own the dies. Everything was pretty much die cut for you. And there are a lot of pieces. Karen Forward, oh, helped me a lot with this one. Tammy Sokolic and her mom did, and Anna cut stuff, and I know Annette punched stuff. So this was a very labor-intensive card. We made it into a fun fold, right? So it pops up like that, okay? I did make this card for my dad, right? He was definitely in my forefront. If I'm gonna make a tractor card, you guys, I have to do Ford New Holland for my dad. And then I will have a birthday card for him. So there's a little bit of detail here that I don't know, Jolene, if you're listening. We scored this with our scoring board. So it makes it look like the part of the tractor. So All right, let's see what you got here. And lots of little bits and parts in here. Okay, look at that. That little silver thing had already shuffled itself. It started off inside the card, but no, I personally laid down this silver piece and that silver piece because my helpers were like, nope, that's too small. And I offered, I said, I can handle that, you guys. So I triple checked and they triple checked. We made sure that these two little circles are in everybody's kits. If you saw mine, it came out and it ended up here. It very easily could have stayed in my envelope. Okay, so here's the deal. If you lose that little circle, it's part of the hubcap. If you lose it, just don't put both in, right? If you only have one, I wouldn't put both. I wouldn't put the other one in just because. So just know that they are very little, right? These little circlies are for the center of your hubcaps, all right? Don't lose them. Then you have this piece of brown espresso and this piece of brown espresso. This is for your dirt, right? You're gonna have to manipulate your dirt. And you're just gonna take your fingers and rough it up. So this tractor's puttering along. It's picking stones right now is what's happening. We should have put some stones in the dirt. But all you're gonna do is rip off this top less than 1/4 inch here. And you're gonna go up and down and up and down. All right, and then you get to the end. If that ends up like that, just rip it off. So another embossing using the Plaster of Paris embossing folder. That's going away, sad face. All right, then you have your bottom dirt, right? Same concept. So you're just gonna take and use your nails. I put a thumb on my left side here so I don't accidentally go too far in, right? That helps to hold it. If I'm good, I get it in one fall swoop. That doesn't always happen. And I, with my right hand, pull towards me, right? You could go backwards, but when I pull towards me, it puts the rough edge on the top, which is what I want to see, right? I'm using this part of my finger as a guide to help me. I don't want to do too much. We were really conservative with this, I guess. So you only have the ability to do like 1/4 inch. That's what you need, right? So you need to manipulate that paper yourself. It is already embossed for you. Now this little strip is bigger than what you need, right? But you might not have these skinny little sentiments that come from here. Your sentiments might be a little bit bigger, right? So if you have beautiful motifs out, these words would be perfect on here. Now I'm gonna go with Thinking of You and I'm just gonna trim it down a little bit. Okay, then you have 2 little eggs, right? We have 2 egg whites and then we have a yolk, right? It looked like eggs. Sunny, you got eggs going on here. So another one, Plaster of Paris embossing folder. Now these clouds are from Playing in the Rain dies. And then this is just a little 1/2 inch circle, right? We wanted a sun to be coming out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar, something, something, something. All right, then you have a tire, a large tire, and you have a hubcap, right? And then that circle goes in it. And then you have a smaller tire, the smaller hubcap, and that other smaller circle goes in that one. And you have the grill piece that's in black to get your smokestack and your steering wheel. And then you have a silver one. Oh, kitten sighting. All right, here you go. Honky Noodle Boy. There he is. Oh, you guys get a little butt shot. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you the butt. But Hunky's got a cute butt. All right, so there's that. Then you have a seat. You have a white piece. Now, the whole card's vanilla themed, but we did do white, and we're going to blend that with the balmy blue. It was brighter. We started off with it being vanilla, and it didn't look good, so we definitely went to white. And then here's your tractor body. Right? My body. And then we use the Need for Tweed. Oh, did I say that wrong? You guys, on that very first, this card right here, the second card, the pumpkins, this is not woven textures. I think it's called Need for Tweed. So I said that wrong. I think it's called Need for Tweed, right? Okay. And then this goes here. So, interesting. Very interesting. So, I wonder how that happened. The vanilla is about 1/8 inch shorter than what it needs to be. So, we haven't let any of these kits leave the hive yet. And if necessary, we will recut them. Let me just see here what size it needs to be. 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I think this is 2 1/8. Yeah. If these are wrong, we will definitely have a loose vanilla piece inserted. We're not going to take this out by any means. All we're going to do is drop in a new piece, and you'll have an extra piece of vanilla. So it's supposed to be 2 1/4. And I believe that, oh, that's not 5 1/4. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, let's try this again. So we got 2 1/4 right here. And we need 5 1/4, so that means that guy's too small. If they would have made that little baby trimmer 6 inches, that would have been amazing. So 5 1/4. All right, see, we can fix things. No. 2 1/4, so perfect. So we're gonna flip them ready for gluing. You have a white piece for your inside. And there's this little silver piece. You're like, oh my gosh, somebody cut that. Yes, Annette cut those for you. That's for your design on your tractor. And then Jolene's wondering, oh my gosh, there's linen thread. You don't have linen thread on the card. That is very true. You guys, I always like to have some sort of linen thread or twine or ribbon on a card. And I'm gonna show you, Diane Bogenhagen has taught me how to add linen thread to these Nate trade cards. I'm going to show you we're going to have weeds growing out of our dirt. How does that sound? Okay. So, and then there's more. There's a blueberry piece, right? And then there's another blueberry piece to create the mechanism for the fold, right? Okay. So many pieces. Let's see what we can get glued together. I have these ready to go. So let's glue them. I already did a dry fit on here. Hello, Feline Mays. Got home from work. Yay. Yeah, Feline, the bundle is so much fun. Oh, well, what's going on here? This blue is too... Okay, here's what... You guys might have to help assist in the cutting department. So, let me just show you what's going on. So this is perfect. We'll make sure that you guys have your vanillas in there, right? So it was 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. So... This, though, I think the blue flap is a hair too long. And I know because when I put this on here, what's happening is if I have a same border on the left, the right, and the top, you have too much blue on the bottom. Now, you might be okay with it being that much, but what all you have to do is when you get that glued on here, you can trim off a hair. I'd rather have it be too long than too short, so... Right, so it's going to be about 1/8 of an inch or less. But that there's wiggle room on that, right? It doesn't matter if it's longer or shorter there. All right, so that's good. All right, then what we can do, let's do some blending on this. You've got Balmy Blue ink and a blending brush. And we need a new sheet here. So we're going to take our blending brush with Balmy Blue and we're going to blend some sky. I always like natural, realistic looking scenery. So our tractor's out driving, doing its thing. There's nobody on it right now. It's just hanging out, actually. Looking pretty in the field. How about that? So I'm going in circles, back and forth, starting off the edge and working my way on. And the same concept as this, with the ink is you can add to it, but you cannot take it away. Take it away. All right, and so that's the top. And we don't have to necessarily do the whole bottom here, but I gotta come down just a little bit further. Our dirt is gonna cover up that bottom area. Now, if you don't have blue ink, you could always leave it a white sky and maybe stamp some clouds on it. Okay, I got a little darker there and I'm a little lighter there, so I'm gonna go back. And there it is. Perfect, okay. So that's our Balmy Blue ink. Can't wait for the third one. So happy you got it. Perfect. Okay, so we did a little bit of blending tonight. So this hay comes from the stamp set. You get one shot in the night here to get it right. And if you don't get it right, you get a second shot. You just gotta flip over your paper and redo it, redo your blending. You definitely don't want to stamp before you blend, because if you do, your ink is gonna blend all over. This hay is gonna blend. I'm gonna guess it's in that top right corner, or right about here. We're just gonna guesstimate this right there. It is a photopolymer stamp, so that's nice. And we have a bigger Tigger fur there. And then on the little strip here, I actually, what am I gonna do? I am, right off the bat, I know I don't need this to be, I think this is a 1/2 of an inch. I know I could get by with 3/8 of an inch. So I'm just gonna trim this. So you can keep it bigger or you can make it smaller. Don't cut your fingernails off though. Right, so something like that will be good for me. And then I'm gonna put, it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. I don't care because it's your birthday. All right, so if you're going crooked, you can still flip that over. You have to be really careful. I think that, see what I did? I stamped on the other side there. So like this, what you have to do is, if you flip it over, are you gonna see it, right? And I will a little bit. So you have to make that judgment call of, let's see here. I can't be over this part right there. So I'm gonna stamp it right about here. Okay, I'm gonna try to make it work. I'm gonna go like that. And now I'm gonna cut off some of the left side to make it a little shorter. And now when I glue this, I'm just gonna make sure I glue it far enough to the left so that you don't see that on the back. And on the inside, I've got wishing you a day filled with many happy moments. It's a very pretty sentiment to put inside. And it's part of this new stamp set called Branching Out. It's got happiest birthday wishes, thinking of you brings joy to my heart, a hello, 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 sent with lots of love, and there's all the branchy branches. All right, so then we're gonna use this guy again, this block again. So I'm just gonna take a moment in time and washi that. Okay, so this card is pretty labor intensive when it comes to the assembly part of it. So we're getting our stamping and ink part out of the way first. All right, so I'm gonna center it towards the top a little bit. So that's what we got for the inside. And I think that's it for the ink. All right. Hi, honey. What you got, girlfriend? Is there any room for you to jump up here? I don't know, Mom. You got so much stuff everywhere. Are you going to go for it? Oh, she made it. Here she comes. Miss America. Hello. You called? Mom, you got so much stuff everywhere. All right. This guy right here. What you want to make sure you do is pop that up with dimensionals. Hi, baby cakes. Tootsie Bubbles. That's what Grandma Diane calls you. Little Tootsie Bubbles. So we're going to put the black dimensionals on here. You definitely need to pop this up so that you can have this, like, to wedge into it. Oh, excuse me, little lady. Mom, I didn't get any love from you all day. So I'm going to, like, work it right now. Is that so, honey? You were doing emails. You were ignoring me. Is that so, honey? You slept all day, baby cakes. Okay, really? Come on, girlfriend. All right. So this guy, we're going to pop it up, match that corner up. Mom, you're not petting me. And then what you can do is bring that all the way over to here. So it's a hair longer than what it needs to be because this embossing folder, oh man, so many little pieces for you to attract onto your fur, huh, honey? Yeah, Mom, I'm gonna make them disappear on you. And then you're gonna be like, so sad. Oh, honey. She's purring away, you guys. She is a happy little camper right now. Watch the tail and the scissors, girl. So we made it a hair longer so that you could just trim that edge off, right? All right, perfect. So what we can do is a little bit of gluing. Is that so, honey? Let's have this piece. We're gonna do some gluing. Yeah, Mom, try to do it one-handed while you pet me. All right, so a little glue here. We'll try not to get any glue in the tail. And then this guy. Yep. Wow, you guys, you're getting a rare performance from Honey here. She's not normally this sociable and friendly on the camera. That's usually Bigger Tigger's job. Okay. Right? Okay, so then this can go right in here. Hi, baby. Mom, you're not petting me. You're not. I'm not getting enough love. You're giving everybody a kitten sighting right now, aren't you? Whoa, let's grab this. Yeah, I'm kind of getting annoyed with you. All right, so then this will go right onto here. All right, very good. Oh, I messed up, you guys. One moment. Oh my goodness. I got distracted by a kitten. Oh. Okay, we're going to show you how to do card surgery. I was not allowed to put that flap down. So for those of you, watch this. We're going to come back to this. I'm going to get my heat tool out. We're going to heat this up and we're going to pull. Oh, no, let's just do it right now. Okay, so I'll show you how to fix things. We're card doctors tonight. All right. So what happens when you glue something down that you're not supposed to and you need to get it off? This is what you do. You grab your heat tool and we're going to heat this up. And we're going to pull it off. Depending on how much glue you used, it may be harder to get off. And I never like to pull all the way down. I work my way around the edges so that if it does tear it, it doesn't tear the edge. Okay, so let's see. All right, success. Ooh, okay, that's how you get things off. Now in the interim, I lost, oh, there it is. I was like, I lost one little hub can. Oh, okay. I also was gonna show you what to do with your grass here. Man, that cat distracted me big time, you guys. Okay, so there's a score line already set up on here, right? So all you gotta do is burnish it. Perfect. What happens is this is the flap that goes underneath here, right? So what we have to do now, don't blame Honey. You glued it before she came. Oh, Honey, everybody's got your back, girlfriend. All right, so this score line, what you're going to do is line that up centered. Okay, Honey, it's not your fault. I did glue it before she came in the picture. All right, so that goes there. Now, this is going to go back over the top, okay? But because of that happening, I got to show you guys how to fix it, right? Maybe you didn't know to use your heat tool to pull up a layer like that, right? And make sure you heat it up enough before you rip it off. Okay, see, you would never know that I did that, right? All right, so then this now flips up, and what you're gonna do is put glue here, right? It was a helpful tip. I hope you guys, yeah, I don't know, I learned that a little while ago. There's a little knickel right on the edge there. Okay, so we're just going to fold that up and now centered left to right. And when I have this down, it's down that far. So let's bring this down right about there. I don't know, something like that. You want to make sure that this is kind of like, actually I got it set up so it's like flush at the top there, right? So that'll be good. Okay, well, back on track. Our weeds. How do you think I'm gonna do the weeds? All right, now they're not in any pictures. So if you guys are referring only to the PDF tutorial, you're not gonna see this action. So you're gonna take, so my mom cut 5 inches here for you. You're gonna take that And what you're gonna do is grab a glue dot and put that glue dot right in the middle of your weed. And you're gonna fold it. And now you're gonna take it and tuck it underneath right there, right? And we're gonna do that a couple times, right? So cut another inch. If you want to use all of this, you could cut 5 1-inch pieces, okay? Tedious, but this is a way that you can add ribbon to a card and not make it look like you're adding ribbon to a card. All right, so I'm gonna put that little glue dot and we're gonna add that right underneath there. Okay, we got 2 weeds now. My dad's not gonna be happy to see weeds on this card. All right, so again, right in the middle, putting that glue dot, folding this in half. We're gonna put one on this side. And we're gonna do 2 more. I'm not gonna put any on the top. There's not a lot of room there, but there's, right in the middle there. Okay, and we're gonna put a 3rd one right on the side there. Okay, and then we're not done. Once we've got these all attached, there's another step to our weed making process. All right. This isn't the weed that you smoke either, you guys. This is just like farm weed here, like that you have to pick out so that it doesn't get all over in your plants. Okay, that's that. Then grab your hokey pokey tool, and what you're gonna do is spread the little strings here. So you take that tool, right, and you unravel the twine, right? These weeds are adorable. Great idea. Good. So I don't remember when it was. It was a couple years ago, and Diane and I were working on a card, and I was like, oh my gosh, we don't have thread on a card, and it was a more manly card. She's like, oh, let's make little weeds on the side. It must be maybe with Thoughtful Journey or something, but you just spread them apart, right? And then we got to do the other side here. You got to start closer to the edge, and then you work your way down. You can't start way from the bottom. Our tumbleweeds here. Again, disclaimer, this is not in any photograph, you guys. This was an afterthought. We put it in the kits, though. Everybody's got 5 inches in your kit, right? So when you put this down, you can see the poor little weeds are growing, and then maybe my dad will take and pull them out, right? All right, then, how do you put this together? What I would do is take a piece of tear and tape and go across the back like that, right? And then I'd take another one, and it looks like onions. All right, take another one and go like that, right? So now you've got some tape sticking there, and you can attach your tire. Right, so that tire is gonna get nestled right in like that. Okay, so that should attach. And then this one, take your tire, so if you want them being equal, like so put this flat on your grid paper, have your tire there, and now you can know where to put this tire. It's gonna attach to that tape. And it's barely hanging. Oh shoot, we can't do this yet. There's another trick. Okay, so I had pointed out these little score lines. Like if you pull up a picture of a tractor, you see these little lines. That is done by grabbing, I use my scoreboard. All right, so let's grab the scoreboard, grab this, grab the stylus, and knowing that that silver thing's right about here, I'm gonna guess right here. I'm just gonna hold it really nicely. I'm making some score lines, right? There, let's do 5. All right, one more. Right, this is not done for you. If you wanna do this, you'll have to go through the exercise yourself. And all I did was use the score tool to put those score lines, okay? Scoring board with a stylus. All right, now back on track. Let's put our tire back on. Put that lined up. Put the tire back on. Right, so now they're even on the road. Okay, this little doohickey is so thin. You gotta be careful. Super cute onions, yay. There are onions growing. Oh, yes, you guys. Instead of them being weeds, they're actually little plants growing out, right? They're onion sets. Okay. Well, they're, yeah, or something, right? Okay. I'm going to stage this with a little glue. Give that a moment. I'm going to do the same thing with that. This is the Rose Coleman trick. Stage a little glue on the back of the stuff, and then it'll get tacky and it won't be smeary. Right, so there's that. Well, that's processing. What you could do is grab a little more tear and tape, and we're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to wait. So this guy, you have it in your kit in black and silver. Well, there's hot glue, so we don't want that. It was in silver. Anybody see it? Okay, here's this. Let's work on this. This is going to get glued flat. That was in silver when I first opened the kit. That I might be able to blame Honey for. So, maybe you guys see it and I don't. This goes down here. And it goes edge to edge. You don't see any blue border. And then our clouds, let's see here. This is going to get dimensionals on the back. Let's prep that with some dimensionals while we wait for the glue to marinate. That there and that there, okay? And then the black, and you might hate it, but what we did is we took a scissors and we cut the smokestack off, right? And there's a little silver one. So let's see, it's not this. There's my egg. I need the steering wheel. Well, this little guy is going to go on your tractor. So it might be a little longer than it needs to be, but that's okay. You can trim it. So I'm going to put that so it's right where the score lines go. Right there. Right? And then you can trim off. It's a little longer than what it needs to be. That's okay. Just grab your scissors, trim that off. And then our wheel flipped upside down. That's okay. We're going to put that right in here now. Try to center it as best you can. And then this little guy will go in here. And then what I did is I put a little dot of glue right in the middle. If you can find your circles, grab them. It helps to use your putty tool. Pick that up, put that in the middle. All right. The silver piece that I'm looking for that I had earlier was right that thing. I kept calling it the grill. All right. Got our egg. This guy, what we're going to do is cut this at an angle like that. So he's ready to go. And what we could do is put a little bit of glue on the back here. That's going to go right about there. Remember I said I got to make sure oh, I can still see that, so I'm going to go back it up just a hair. Because I stamped it crooked on the other side, so now I can't see that. Okay. Does anybody see upside down info on my card? No. And then let me just look over here. Otherwise I'm going to go steal one out of a different kit and I will replace it. Done with the ruler. Done with that. If you need to trim your weeds, you can just use your scissors and make them shorter. All right, so not anywhere here. Nancy, I think I can blame Honey for this one because it was there. Oh man, lots of stuff over here. Okay, well I don't see it there. All right. It's on the floor. Okay, found it. I'm gonna blame Honey. It got attached to her fur and then she walked away. So what we have to do with this is the smokestack. So we're gonna, I'm gonna go for liquid glue. I'm just gonna let it sit for a moment and we're gonna put a, you guys are gonna hate it. I have two options. You can use the little black paper here from the steering wheel, or you could take a black permanent marker or your Stampin' blend marker, and you could just draw this black, right? Whatever you want. But I'm going to take and put a little glue here. Okay, let that sit for a second, and we're gonna cut. Don't lose this. This might be a good idea to use a tweezers here to hold on to it. And then you're gonna cut, you're gonna card surgery, right? So you don't need these pieces. So this goes right on, right? So that you have a black steering wheel. And then this guy, right there, right? So that's what we did. Totally MacGyvered this, right? Give that a second. So why don't we go ahead and, so the seat's gonna go flat. Let's see here, let's bring the card back. All right, so then this guy, you need a little glue on it. Check the floor, I think Honey swooshed it with her tail. You were right. Okay, I'm gonna put this, a little glue there. A little, you don't use a lot. And then that's gonna go, it fits right here. So it matches up right on the top of the tractor area. Now that's probably the most tedious part about all of this, and if that's too much work, you could always take a black Sharpie and color it. All right, so then this is gonna go onto the front of the card. I always save the most tedious one for last, you guys. We're gonna have the wheels need to hit the ground. My hay could have been up a hair, I guess. I could have put it up just a little bit higher. It's all right. And then this egg is popped up. This egg white is popped up. And then this egg white is flat. And my seat is also flat. So what you can do, and my sun is flat. So we're gonna put a little liquid glue here, little there, right there. All right, so false swoop here. Let's grab this. So the seat goes right there. Good. Okay, and then this cloud is flat. Right there. Our sun is kind of peeking out behind it. And then the other egg yolk, egg white is, I don't know, something like that, right? You can play with it a little bit. You got a little wiggle room before it all dries. Okay. Do we got it? Oh, we don't have any gems, and that's okay. The girls told me that this card did not need gems. So that's up to you. If you want to add your own gemsies, you're welcome to. I felt like for it being a guy card, or a boy card, a little boy card, or a girl who likes a blue tractor, whatever, doesn't matter. Whoever's getting the card, if you think that they would like to see gems on it, you're going to have to add your own, because I did not put gems in this card kit. And do you want to Stella anything? Yes, we're going to Stella the sun. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. And I can see all obstacles in my way. All right. Whew. That one made me work for it. I bet it's going to make you guys work for it too. Oh, yep. All right. We got it. So we've got our sunflower, which we started the night off with an easy card, I think. This one was not hard. It was just lots of tedious layers. That one was more like performing surgery. So hopefully you guys don't give up on that last card. And I think that it will truly make somebody's day. And again, the main thing, oh, complete with cat fur. So the main thing is that you don't forget to pop that up. And you can see I popped mine up, but because of how I popped it, I was still able to stick the weeds down in there, right? So hopefully it taught you some tips and tricks on how to put your tractor pieces together. There's different ways you can do it. Now the stamp itself has stamps that you can stamp the tractor. You've got the hay, the corn, the pumpkins, the Christmas trees, lots of other things going on. So definitely you can use the stamps if you love them, and if you just want to get dies, you can just get the dies. The weeds really added to the card. Good, yeah, zhuzhed it up just a little bit, right? Yeah, and so again, in the PDF tutorial, when Jolene has it all written up, the watermarked pictures are from my sample here, right? So you guys are probably going to wonder, like, if you don't watch this video, you guys are going to be like, why does she put linen thread in there? What do I do with it, right? So they might never know. Oh, I'll have to write it in when I actually send the email out to everybody. I'm going to say, I'll have to make a disclaimer that the linen thread is for the weeds. So, okay, so now, which ones do you guys, what's your favorite? What's your favorite? Oh, the tractor is the favorite. And Cindy said the sunflower is her favorite. Good. And the pumpkin. All right, off the bat, different cards for different people. Awesome. Hopefully you guys learned some tips and tricks too. Always like to teach you whatever I can throughout a night. And I know some of you have been watching me for a while and it's like old hat, and some of you just started watching, so it's all brand new, but we definitely like to share what we can with you. So, all right, I think I got all my stamps all cleaned. So, just might as well put some of these away really quick. So, hey. So the other sentiment you could use if you have this set that fits nicely is thinking of you. So that's really good. And then again, this one came from the branching out. That Susan says the sunflower, and then the tractor. You guys, the celebrate came from. So this is Nancy Mole. If you're still watching, this is what happens. So this stamp is going to stick here now because I washed it. This is what happens when my stamps are like, it's not sticky at all, right? Where this one, I just washed it and it sticks. Where the rest of these, I need to take a moment and wash them underneath the water to get the goo off of them. We used Autumn Wishes from the set Amber Autumn. And then the other one we pulled in was the Unbounded Love, is where we got our words from. And there was, it could be sympathy, or it could have been a birthday would fit on there nicely. There's other ones too. And then the last set that we used here was the beautiful pumpkins, and we used the Wee Widow guy. So there's a big pumpkin too in this set, and that matches the die. So that die would punch out, or I should die cut that big pumpkin. All right, well, so we definitely featured a lot of new product that just launched in the new mini catalog and or the online exclusives. So that's cool. Pat says the pumpkin. You guys are all over the board. I like it. Lots of salvage tips. Yes. Okay. So let me pull out the purple book. I believe I have here. I wrote it down. We have 4 people that I have notes that are placing orders, or they place I guess they placed their orders already. So I'll base it off of if they placed their orders, and that's what I have 4 people. So we'll do random number generator. I'm going to put 4 in here. I'm going to hit generate. 2 scoops. Awesome. Let's see what 2 scoops is. 2 scoops is Mary Lemke. Yay, Mary Lemke. Should go get a lottery ticket. I heard the lottery is pretty high these days. I won't win because I don't buy lottery tickets. I don't think to buy lottery tickets. Okay, so then let's go over here. We have all of our drawings, our normal monthly drawings. So we've got the monthly creative challenge and the class card challenge. Those you can find out on the Facebook page, Cards by Christine. And when you go to, it's pinned at the top. So it's normally a pinned post. So August monthly creative challenge. And then, oh, what I normally do is announce the winners in these different posts, and then I will pin the September one. So there's a different creative challenge every month, and it says what the rules are, and then what you do is you share, so you go to the comments, and you share your cards, right? Very cool. So what Kelly does is she goes and grabs the names, and you could put in multiple times, and then there's also the class card challenge, where if you've made your cards from July and August, you can submit your pictures of your completed cards and get in on the drawings, right? So those people got to they'll get in on the drawing. And then I have my top fans. For the top fans that we pulled out, we already pulled those. Those winners are Patty Baumgartner, Lisa Spacek, and Linda Swansea. So I know you guys might see them, so that's why I'll say them right off the bat. So I don't know who Linda Swansea or Patty Baumgartner are, but if you want to give me your addresses, I will gladly mail you a prize. And Lisa Spacek, how it works is when you place your next order with me, I'll have a prize in with it. And then because you usually get classes. So I'd make sure I put yours in with a class, which would probably be most convenient. And then what we'll do is go back to the random number generator here, and I'm going to put in 23. And we'll pick a winner here. Number 23. Oh, man. So Tony Shaw, you are our lucky winner for the monthly creative challenge drawing for August. So I'll have a prize for you. And then we have 18 here. 2 scoops. Janice Ormiston. Nice. All right. And I'll add that to your September shipment. And then Share, Create, Inspire. That was the class we struggle bust in the beginning, and then we came out good. And Janice Ormiston gave me her recipe and had that card. And then what I did is I scored mine wrong, so I ended up with a Shorty Doo-Wop card and a cutie patootie Halloweeny card. So that was Share, Create, Inspire. So we had 3 people that got in on that by submitting cards, and winner dinner chicken dinners, Jamie Kirkpatrick, yay. And then mystery card, I have a mystery card here that we made with you. It was a Dutch Doors card, right? So you guys could submit your cards. I think you had until last night, basically, and honestly, Kelly didn't pull the names until this afternoon. So we had 11 people. Winner is number 11, Anna Rebedu. Very good. Okay. And then the August VIP. So I have some bundles that I give away at half off. And if you are part of my VIP group and share my showcase video for the month of, this was July's one, but it's the winner in August. So we have 10 people that shared it and said that they shared it. And we'll click generate. Number 2 scoops again, Leslie McMinn. So Leslie, I got to send you a list of what I have for bundles, and if you're interested in picking out one of them for half off, I could always add that into your next box too. So if you're still watching, I could definitely, I'll have to send you the list via email though. All right, so can you please text me the 3 picks I was asking for earlier? So Jolene, are you talking about the recipe pictures? Because I did send these 2 cards to you via the recipe right before class. I uploaded them into the drive. Oh, we're not done. You guys, I have one more thing here. So I did pull off all the names of people who placed an order $40 or more with me in the month of August, right? So August, and I'm gonna pick 3 winners. I've got some stamp sets off to the side here, and I'm gonna see whoever wins first. I'll give them the list and they can pick, and then I'll go down. So I got 3 stamp sets that are compliments. I think Pat Fleming sent them to me, and I just came across the box, yay. So I'm gonna do by 41 here. And then you can't win multiple times. So if your name's on here twice and you get picked twice, then you just are lucky, and I'll pick somebody else. But I'm gonna have 3 unique winners. So 41, 14. Oh, on this side. So these are the numbers in consecutive order. So 14 is Lynn Beasley. Okay, so Lynn, you are number 1. Number 6 goes to Annette Murray. And you're number 2, Annette. And then number 3, 34, is down here. Oh, Karen Woods. Very good. Okay, so she is number 3. And Pat Fleming blessed me with some stamp sets. And Pat, if you're watching, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, girl, I gave those to you last year. What has been the holdup? Well, they were in a box and they were covered up, and you know how it goes around here. When you finally do some house cleaning, you find stuff, and I am excited to share these, our compliments of Pat, so that she had duplicates, and so she wants to pay these forward to people. So we're passing them on. And so if you are Lynn or Annette or Karen Woods, I've got Enduring Beauty, Botanical Layers, Lasting Joy, Something Fancy, and Wonderful Thoughts. So these are brand new sets, and you can see that they've never been used, and you have an amazing Pat to thank for them if you are a lucky winner. So, okay, so that would be that. And I don't know if Pat, the box has a date on it or not. Oh yeah, August 1st of 2024. So I knew it was last year. So she sent them off to me, you guys. I'm a slacker sometimes, and I found it. And so there we go. So I will message these 3 people and ask them if they are interested in any of those sets. That's what I have. And if for any reason these 3 people are like, no, pass it on to somebody else, I'm good, then I'll pick some more names. So yay. All right, so congratulations to all the winners. Yes, yay, you guys are so good. So Jolene said thank you. So Jolene, is that what you're looking? Hunky, such a squeaker. So Jolene, if you go into the folder here, I've got the tractor, the pumpkin, and the sunflower in there. So if you need something else, you're gonna have to message me or call me. And if those are what you're looking for, then we're good to go. All right, because I knew it was 2 pictures, not 3. So I didn't know if there was another random third one. Okay, we did it. Yay, and it's only a little after 8. Good job, guys. Okay, oh, there's a scoring board little thing on the floor. Okay, oh, another kitten sighting. You got Hunky. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, buddy. He's like, Mom, you scared me. Did you see that? Sorry, Hunky. All right, I'm thinking what's next. So tomorrow, you guys, what our goal tomorrow, I've got Chris and Annette coming over, and we're going to kit up the DSP sampler, the Holiday Mini Catalog DSP sampler. We're kitting up 72. We are making 90. No, so there was 90. 72 is 8. We're making 18 less than the annual catalog. So we didn't sell out of the annual catalog yet, and we didn't sell out of the Spring Mini. So if anybody is, and here I'll show you really quick what I mean by it. So this is what we're kitting up tomorrow. We're kitting up the Holiday Mini Catalog. This was the Spring Mini, and I have like 10 of that one left. This was the Annual Catalog, and I have like 10 of that one left. And I know that Darlene Stewart or somebody, I gotta touch base with somebody that they paid for the one but wanted the other. So I gotta still touch base with you if you're watching. I know that you're on my list to get in touch with. But we're kitting this up for the Holiday Mini Catalog. And then I'll get it glued together, and you guys would be able to make a little document that looks like that. That's what we're working on tomorrow. So a couple of us are working on that, and a few people are going to be here kitting up for the Autumn Creative Escape. We have 9 cards that we're going to kit between now and Tuesday, 136 of each of them. And so we roll out of September kitting to roll into the Escape kitting, and then we're going to roll right into the Palooza kitting, and then we're going to roll right into the Wounded Warrior Project kitting. So no rest for the weary, you guys. All right. Yes, it was very generous of Pat, you guys. So big kudos to Pat Fleming for passing those on to, I think I had intentions of picking some winners off of a YouTube live, and I never did that. And so they've been here, and I just came across them, and it's time to move them to people who will give them a happy home. So yeah, it was so generous of her to pass them forward, or pay them forward. So, all right, Hunky's gone. All right, good job. So that's what we're working on tomorrow. I'm going to continue to work my way through class registrations, you guys. For those people that are looking for an early shipment, we're not shipping until the 12th. So technically I have 8 days before we ship potentially some first stuff. And then on the 22nd is the next big bulk day of people who wanted a shipment later in the month with their escape. So you guys, there's still time. So I've got time. Don't feel like I need to stay up till 8 o'clock in the morning working on emails all night to get them done. I am trying to make sure I get my beauty sleep, right? So, all right. And then what is Sunday? Sunday's the 7th, 8th. I got monthly classes, 9th, 10th. So I think Gina's going to be live with you guys one day next week. And then I think next Thursday we have the Sweet Bundle class featuring gathering together. So there's a couple lives for you next week. All right. So we'll be back in no time, and we'll have lots to talk about, as Mr. Rogers would say. All right. So if you guys need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you need something answered like really quickly on the fly, don't hesitate to call me. I pick up the phone as much as I can, right? So, and if I miss the call, I generally call back pretty quick, as long as I'm by my phone. So, all right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. Have a good rest of your evening, and have a great weekend ahead. Love ya. Bye.